Okay.
Okay.
Yes, you can start, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening
Good evening.
to all of you. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this webinar. To give you a little perspective, the Institution of
अभिषेक
Engineers
आनंद
in India,
So
as you are
please,
aware,
please, मेरे गड़बड़ हो गया जगह सा भी लाते
the Institution of Engineers India conducts many programs, but in this time of pandemic, we have decided to continue to provide our services to the members through digital means, through video conferencing. So our President, Engineer Narendra Singh, who would be talking to you shortly, had envisioned this idea of having a special centenary webinar series to bring to you experts in various fields, not only in engineering, but also in motivation, supply chain management, and the one we are doing today on leadership. So the idea was that to keep everyone abreast of what is happening, especially in these times, how to face the future. And as you're aware, the institution takes a lead in conducting this program. So before I introduce the speaker, I would request Engineer Narendra Singh, the President, Institution of Engineers India, to kindly say a few words. Sir.
Sir, Naren sir has logged off. I think some internet issues at his side. You will have to continue the session till he comes back.
Okay,
Okay.
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 So
So
I will. I would like to introduce Mr. Ajay Sharma to everyone. Okay,
I think we are
is
waiting
that
for
okay?
him
is that
also.
okay?
Yeah, we are waiting for him also to join in.
Okay.
Okay.
Has he joined it?
No, sir, we are waiting. I think we're just trying to connect with him.
You have attendees in this? How many, Ms. Jain? Has he joined? Mr. Sharma joined?
No, sir, just entering. Just in a minute, he's coming in.
Okay. How many have already joined the webinar?
So we have 150 people who are right now live.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Fine.
Ms. Jain, our president would like to say a few words. Is he here?
No, but Mr. Narendra is also not there. Can you just connect with him? I don't know how come he's logged out.
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah. Once he's entering, I will connect him.
Okay. Ms. Jain, has he come? I think the new link.
No, sir. The Ajay is entering. He's online with me right now. I don't know about.
Okay.
I'm resend. Yeah, Ajay is there. Ajay is there.
Mr. Narendra Singh entered?
No, he's not entered. He's not entered yet.
But he's there. He's somewhere. I think one of those.
Good evening.
Good evening. I think Mr. Narendra Singh has not been able to join in.
Okay.
So we can start by, I would like to introduce you. If
Sure,
that's okay,
please.
Ms. Jain?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all right.
Thank you to all of you once again to those who have joined. And I would like to take the privilege to introduce Ajay Sharma, co-founder and CEO of Consultants, who has an engineering degree and an international executive MBA in leadership and entrepreneurship. He's very well known for motivation and conducting such in-skill training for various multinationals. He has more than 15 years experience in training, executive coaching and consulting. He has received many accolades and many awards professionally for the work that he does. And he has conducted more than 500 leadership seminars for IT companies and MNCs. And most importantly, for the team building process is his specialty. What is most interesting is that he has a very positive outlook and he inspires confidence. And the Institution of Engineers India is privileged to have requested him to conduct his talk on a very contemporary topic, which is leadership and change management in the VUCA world in these uncertain times we live in. So, Mr. Sharma, I would like to hand over to you to conduct your talk. Thank you.
Good evening and namaste to all the participants who are listening to me. Thank you so much for sparing your precious time and being live on YouTube. I welcome you to the board on behalf of Institution of Engineers. Friends, it's a VUCA world, and I will spend some time on understanding what is VUCA and how is it impacting all of us during all the crises or different situations in life. So when it comes to VUCA, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. See what happens at times. These things one after another. If we are actually passing through volatility, there are chances that other threes are also following us. Right? There can be the complexity in situation, there can be uncertainty in the situation, and there on the ambiguity, which of course will arise within ourselves, right? So all of us really have to understand the situation, how to handle, and as we all know that the only constant thing which is there in the world is the change. right? And how all of us can fight, can deal with this change is really important for all of us. Friends, when we talk about leadership, it has different meanings altogether worldwide. And there have been a lot of practices that have happened in the past, right? But practices have been in the past. Certain fundamentals that could work, they could work in the past. There are chances that the past principles, the past, leadership mantras, they work in present scenario also, right? But parallelly we really have to work on new attributes, skill set, in terms of KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude, right? So I would spend some time in understanding what is VUCA, and I would like to take you through a small video which will help you to understand what is this VUCA for. And friends, during such crisis of COVID, I hope and I expect that all of you and your families are doing pretty well. God has been very kind on you and your family. I convey my best wishes to all of you, to stay strong and safe during such crisis. So now, before I take you towards the VUCA leadership, I would, like to tell you that this is something which is not happening first time with us, right? There have been situations in the past with a lot of leaders, worldwide, and how those leaders could fight with situations all around, right? Today we are sitting in our homes very safe, right? But I salute to all the army personnel, all officers, soldiers on the border who are fighting, right? And I'm sure all of you are hearing the news at regular intervals, right? So for them, like sleeping in night also is not that easy. When they sleep in night, so uncertainty that I call the prediction, the predictability of happening anything is always 100%, right? So when I say uncertainty, they are very really very uncertain, and anything can happen with them, right? So they are ready to handle such situations, such crisis. So I will take you long back in 1915, in Norway, right? There was one Norwegian explorer. Yes, I'll repeat. No, in Norway there was an explorer, right? And before 1915 till 1911, there was no one who could cross the Antarctic Ocean, right? Now all of us know Antarctic Ocean full of ice, and for anyone it was damn difficult to cross the iceberg, right? Or I would say the Antarctic Ocean. And then there was Sir Ernst, Skeleton, if you have heard of him, right? And Skeleton, in fact, Ernest, that man took a decision to cross Antarctic Ocean, right, with six crew members. Now the crew name was Endurance. When they were crossing the Antarctic Ocean, the Endurance, their ship got trapped. So when I say it got trapped, right, they were not able to cross it, right? So you see, volatility situation, they were crossing, and something happened that could not allow them to cross the Antarctic, right? For us, dealing in corporate life, dealing in family life, dealing with day-to-day situations that happen to us, and we call it volatility, we call it uncertainty, we call it ambiguity, right? I'm trying to show you a different level of volatility so that all of us are pretty aware that what exactly is happening across the globe, what has happened, in the past. Hope I am audible, to all of you. Hello, am I audible? Weber, can you please cross check if I am audible?
You are audible, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, I'm audible. Great.
Yes, sir.
So now, thank you so much, Weber. So now I was on volatility, which has happened in the past, right? So in 15, in fact, I was there taking you in 1915, right? So there, the man took a decision to cross Antarctic Ocean, right? So once his ship Endurance endurance got trapped in ice. So what he did, he left his ship, but he did not leave his crew members. All six crew members, they had to spend 16 days. I repeat, they had to spend 16 days, and they traveled almost 1,300 kilometers to reach one island called Elephant Island. Right? It wasn't that easy, friends, but they did that. It took months for them to come back, and when they come back, it was after months, right? So this is called a leadership process. Uncertainty, volatility, all these, when they come, there has to be a leader, right? Or I would say these situations will make you leader, will make us leader. All of us talk about leadership in day-to-day life. Friends, we talk about, you must have read a lot of books, or you might have gone through some articles talking about leadership. Leadership can be autocratic, can be democratic, can be laissez-faire, or vis-a-vis so many. There are so many leadership traits. I can spend even hours and hours talking about leadership traits, right? But what works in the best possible way, all of us need to understand, right? So first, I would like to take you towards my through my PPT. So just be with me through a video, and followed by a PPT. Weber, can I please request you to show them the video that I have shared with you?
Yes, sir. Please 2 minutes.
Please. So see how VUCA world has impacted the world, global organizations or Fortune 500 companies. We think that starting a job is easy. We think that doing a business is easy, right? Now see how VUCA has impacted the complete world, right? And the VUCA word, it has come right from US Army. Yes, right from US Army, and how it has impacted the world. There is a report which I would like to show you through one video. Have a look. Yeah, thank you so much, you so much, for watching the video. And I'm sure a lot of insights you must have received while watching the video. Now, I'm back with a little more information here for you. When it happens, it is all about leadership and VUCA world, right? So I would take you towards, the detailed explanation of VUCA, that, as I said, volatility, uncertainty, and the complexity, and followed by the ambiguity. Weber, may I request you to, put me on my PPT, please?
Yes, sir. Please give me 2 minutes.
So, friends, I would take you towards a little, historical concept of leadership over here. I'm sure all of you must believe or must be believing on leadership, in terms of storytelling. All leaders across the world, they believe, in sharing stories with their team. So, when you talk about sharing a story with their team, there is always a competition which is sometimes from within. There is a competition which is from the outside. So I would take you towards a competition which is there, right, and exists. It so happened there was a man, right, and that man. So my PPT is here, but just look at me first so that I can cover up my story, which I was, there with you. So, there was a man who was carrying two pots, on a single bamboo. So these two pots, when he was carrying, after a few days, one of the pots got broken. So when I say one of the pots got broken, right, it had a hole within it. It had a hole within it, and by the time the man was able to carry both the pots, his home, one of the pots was almost empty. Yes, one of the pots, the one which was broken, was empty, right? So it happened for years, not, I'm sorry, it happened for months and days, right? A day came when the broken pot opened up. So when the broken pot opened up, what he said to his master: "Hey, master, I am a broken one. I'm a broken pot, and still you are carrying me." So the master was, "Yes, you are a broken pot, and I'm carrying you, and I feel proud in carrying you." So broken pot was crying and saying, "I am useless. I am useless." Right. So the moment broken pot said, "I am useless," right? On that, the master said, "Wait, wait." As a leader, he said, "Wait, let me show you what capacity, what capability you have," right? So then the master took him through the route on which he used to travel every day. So he showed him all the flowers and plants that grew up in last few days and months, and the credit went to the broken pot, of course. So the master reminded the broken pot, the leader, reminded the broken pot and told him, "My dear friend, you have given life, you have given life to these flowers, these plants, and you are saying you are useless." So at times in life, we feel that we are useless unless we have a leader, we have a mentor in life. So, friends, you are a leader, so taking care of your team is your responsibility. Is your responsibility. See, the words responsibility, accountability, credit, collaborations, all these are huge words. But when we look at them, they seem to be very, very small words. But the meaning is very deep, right? So let's take a look towards the little more information that Weber has for us. Thank you, Weber. Please take us to the PPT. So namaste to all of you. Since the namaste time is prevailing all over the world, right? So here, let's go. Can we go next, Weber? The next slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you look at the volatility, right, and spend some time in understanding all this, it is really difficult to say when will it come, right? It has been coming in the past. It can come any point in time, right? Now, what makes us ready is our quick action. We really have to be able to be ready, on urgent basis, right? And that makes us a good leader when we are ready to take challenges during volatility, and we show our quick response to it. We show our quick response to it, right? And it really helps us a lot. Now, when we go towards uncertainty can happen anywhere, right? It is happening, as I said, as of now, or rather, it has happened, on India-China border in Ladakh. So, how they are tackling it? For us, what is uncertainty? For leaders, what is uncertainty, and how can we deal with it? I will show you in my coming slides. But let me take you, towards a little more information on complexity. So if you go through the complexity, we have a mix of informations. We have a lot of information from here and from there. So what happens? You have a chaos. You have a chaos. One information, another information, and that's where a real leader comes out, right? That's where we recognize a true leader. So, friends, when we are in a complex situation, always remember there are great chances for you to be a leader, to take the responsibility of finding a solution out of this complexity and be known in your network and in your team, right? So, now next, we talk about the ambiguity. Ambiguity is, having doubt in ourselves. When we go and do something, we become ambiguous. We have a doubt in us. If I take you right back towards Mahabharata, right? I am sure all of you have seen Mahabharata. Arjun, was he not ambiguous? Was he not into ambiguity that should I attack my own relatives? Should I kill my own teachers, my own guru? Right? So, in such time, who supported him? Yes, Lord Krishna supported him, right? And he showed him a right lesson. He taught him the right gyan, right? So, during ambiguity and complex situations, friends, all of us should really fight with ourselves, should work on finding new solutions. And if you feel that you cannot find a solution, or you don't have a solution, I would always recommend you to meet your mentors and gurus, or the one you have a belief in, right? So I would take you towards the next slide through my slide share. Just a second. Okay, now no worries. Let's move on. So with technology, as all of you have seen, with technology's effect on the speed of change, one new product can instantly render on existing product useless. Right? You see, you must have seen Nokia, right? Nokia never believed that some new fish, some bigger fish will come and will eat it completely, right? And it has completely vanished from the market. Nokia used to be, world player in mobile phones, right? Now see what happens. New technology, new add-ons, right? Have started prevailing over the world. So my friends, we should always be ready to adopt a new change. So the moment we believe in change management, adopting a new change in our day-to-day life and accept it as a new tomorrow. I repeat, accept it as a new tomorrow without any glitch, without any, I would say a kind of, tension in your mind. I'm sure you can deal with it in a better way. So constant shifts in the market, influenced by anything from politics, terrorist attacks, or to outbreaks and natural disasters, can change anything in an instant, right? So we really have to be ready and to deal with it. Now, I would take you towards next. Weber, please, next. Now, friends, can you please enlarge it, Weber? Because I am not able to see it fully. The next one, please. No worries, you can carry on, Weber. So now, when we talk about the leadership, how do we understand from VUCA world? Let's take it one by one. Volatility, we will connect it with vision. So when I say volatility is vision, right? So all of us need to have a vision. If we don't have it, we have to create it and have to take quick decisions on it, right? So friends, as I said, quick decisions would always help you a lot, right? So we really have to be a quick decision maker in life. And believe you me, it really helps a lot. Now, we say decisions are always right. I am sorry. Decisions are not always right. Decisions are always wrong? No. Decisions depend on the risk-taking capacity of you. If you believe in taking risk in your life, you will take a decision. And during volatility, by having a right vision, you really have to work on a quick decision-making capacity of yours, right? So I'm sure you must have, gone through a lot of, areas of leadership. There are leaders who take decisions and then they prove it right. You know whom I'm talking about. Right? We take a decision and then we prove it right. Yeah. So in that way only we have to work on. Now with vision, when I say volatility and vision, I will connect you with one more example of leadership over here. There can be a leader in any organization. There can be a leader in family, anywhere, right? One leader I'm talking about, what he does, he stands on a very big height. He stands on a big height, right? And what he does, he stands here very high, elevated from others. And the people who are standing, on the ground, he asks those team members, those people, hey, can you see me what I can see? Hey, can you see what I can see? So friends, this is what I'm trying to tell you. What happens when it comes to showing the vision that you see to your team members? What comes as an importance here, that you keep them aligned. You keep them aligned and on the same boat. When I say on the same boat, your team members should be able to think, to see what you see. So alignment comes from collaborations. When you collaborate, when you communicate, right, you will be able to create a new leader within your team, right? And exactly, I'm talking about creating new leaders. I'm talking about sharing leadership as a process, right? Leadership is not a chair. Leadership is not a chair for 10 years, 15 years, or 5 years. My friends, leadership, if you take it as a process of sharing, believe you me, we become a true leader in our life, in our organization, in our family. So it is a responsibility, it is a process, it is a vision which has to be shared with my teammates, with your teammates, right? So, and I am sure all of you during COVID time, must be, following a fundamental of leadership, which is sharing, right? So men must be helping their wives in the best possible way, and their family members, and vice versa. Wives are helping husbands, right, in the best possible way, right? So you see, at home also the leadership has become a sharing process, right? Sometimes I am on the front, and when I am tired, leading the flock, when I am tired, I will make another leader within my team, and ensure that team member becomes a leader and I become a follower at that point in time. So leadership, friends, has to be a sharing process methodology, right? So I was taking you towards the more part of video. Whenever we were on the video, can you please put me to my video once again?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shaikh Mohammed Mahbub. Thank you so much for listening to me. I could see your comment. Thanks for commenting. Engineer Ramakant Upadhyay, thank you so much. Lovely to see you. So I was on volatility, which has to be connected to my vision. So from today onwards, the moment you see volatility in your life, what will you come across? What will you have in your mind? Only one word, that is vision. only one word, that is vision. And vision, you will be able to see the moment you actually can take a quick decision, very quick decision, right? So now let's move ahead towards uncertainty, right? So when I talk about uncertainty, as I discussed, it can come in anyone's life, it can come in any organization, right? So and it is very rapid, it is very fast. You must have seen in one PPT the video that we have shown you. In that video, it was said the changes in me, the changes in me, the changes in my organization, and changes outside, and changes in my organization, right? So the moment I am able to cope, I'm able to cope and deal with the changes outside, and the speed of my speed of dealing with that change, either higher than the change or equivalent to the change, I am able to survive, friends. I am able to survive, right? But the moment my speed and the change speed, my speed is lower than the speed of change, it becomes difficult for me to kind of be a leader and perform to the best. But yes, the moment I take a quick decision and work for it and communicate to all my team members, and that I'm talking about transformational leadership. So when I talk about transformational leadership, it to my all team members in the best possible manner, and ensure and creates that belief that the path that we have chosen is the right, the path that we have chosen is the right most, and that's the only possible option that we have. Friends, we are able to drive and direct our team members very quickly. Ashwini Kumar Toplani, thank you so much. Dharvendra Singh sir, thank you so much. I salute all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here live with me. So the next one, I was about to connect with you the uncertainty, and that uncertainty is, you know what? That is understanding. So when I say uncertainty, the moment you have uncertainty in your mind, you really have to understand the situation. And that uncertainty may come from a situation, from a person, from a project, from a team, from anywhere, guys. But you really have to be understanding. The moment you have understanding approach towards uncertainty, believe you me, guys, you can handle any situation to the best possible way, right? So now, right, the complexity is always in all of us. While doing a project, while preparing food for our family, right, while playing outside, or while working in NASA, I have been a very, I would say, blind follower of Dr. Kalam. I salute him always, right? And what he said, I'm sure you must have heard of it. We are ready to be successful. Yes, guys, we are ready to be successful. Everyone is ready to be successful. But how many of us, friends, are ready to be failed? When I say are ready to be failed, that means we should know if we get failed, how are we gonna tackle it? How we are gonna handle that situation, right? So I will connect you with one of the stories, one of the real incidents that took place, with Dr. Kalam. So I will take you right there also on that story. But before that, let me just to wind up this VUCA quickly. So then it becomes the complexity and clarity. So when we are complex, we have to work on clarity. So guys, if you do not work on clarity, now how does clarity come? Clarity you will get only when you reach the root cause of a problem. Root cause of a problem. You must have noticed in your team members while working with your team members, what happens? Sometimes they commit an error. Sometimes they make a mistake. Friends, as I said earlier, making a mistake is not a big thing. People ask, when someone commits a mistake, people ask, why did you do that? Why it happened? Why? My friends, I'm sorry. Why is not that important? Why for a failure, why for committing an error is not important at all. What is important? How it has taken place. So when you are in a big shit, when you are in a deep shit, where you are in a big problem, believe you me, guys, you really have to reach out to the lowest possible corner of that problem, and from there only you will be able to find a solution, right? So look for the clarity when you are in complex situations, and then the ambiguity, agility, right? So you become more agile. You really have to be more agile when you are in ambiguity. And that's what I told you about Arjuna and Shri Krishna, the conversation when Arjuna wasn't able to hit his own people, hit his own, relatives. That's where the proper gyan, and Krishna made Arjun more agile, right? So, that's all we really have to work on in VUCA. So I will take you ahead to my next slide. Weber, will you please help me out to go ahead? This slide, guys, I will share with you later on so that you understand in a better way, right? And in case you have any question, you can ask me post this live session also. You can join me on my YouTube channel, and I will always be there for you. I keep conducting a lot of sessions on my YouTube channel, so I welcome you there. You can always ask me questions, on that channel, and I would always be available for you. So, Weber, if you can listen to me, can you please put me to the next slide? Weber, are you there?
Yes, sir. Which slide, sir?
The next slide of, you see one VUCA board, Leadership in VUCA World. You keep moving, I will say you stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, when I can spend a lot of time on vision and understanding, clarity, and adaptability and agility. You really have to be flexible. You really have to be adaptable to a situation. When you are really kind of ambiguous from inside. So be flexible towards understanding. You cannot have a mindset that yes, I will do this only. That's what I said. Agility, adaptability. You really have to work on adaptability, flexibility, and more you're flexible, more knowledge will you receive from your mentor very quickly, right? So, Weber, can you please take me towards the slide?
Yes, sir. I'm doing.
You see one slide of the fourth industrial revolution.
Fourth
industrial revolution. Yeah, I can't see your slide on the screen. Yes, this one only. Yes, yeah. So when I talk about a situation which is the fourth industrial revolution, guys, we all are living in the fourth industrial revolution, right? When I say the fourth industrial revolution, the World Economic Forum refers this present age as the fourth industrial revolution, right? Now, how I call it a fourth industrial revolution, right? Any technology, as I said, any technology will come quickly like a big fish and will eat this small fish, right? So all of us, how can we deal with such situation, the fourth industrial world, right? While working on VUCA, while being connected with our vision, while being flexible. When I say flexible, we are ready to have change in our life, right? So we become more flexible, and I'm sure with that we can always fight with the fourth industry, world or revolution which is happening these days here, right? Now, Weber, the next slide, can you please show them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, guys, if you can read that slide of mine, the fourth industrial revolutions, I would read it for you just to make it very precise, right? Because it's a research-based a kind of a theory which has come from World Economic Forum. I would like to read it for you. The fourth industrial revolution is disrupting almost every industry in every country, and the breadth and the depth of these changes herald the transformation of entire system of production, management, and governance, says Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman, World Economic Forum, Geneva, in the fourth industrial revolution. What it means? It means how to respond emerging technology breakthroughs in fields such as artificial intelligence. I call it AI, robotics, the Internet of Things, IoT, the autonomous vehicles, 3D printing, nanotechnology, and etc., right? So all that has been happening, every day or the other, right? The speed of technology is very fast, right? And one changes we also have seen. My apologies to all of you that you had to wait. While I was live, you had to wait for 5-10 minutes, right? And I appreciate your patience. I really appreciate. I do, right, by the core of my heart, right? And I apologize to all of you for this inconvenience which has taken place, and I take the complete responsibility of it. Right? Thank you so much. Now let's move ahead. So when we talk about the leadership, right? So I would take you towards one fundamental principle of leadership here, and which is talking about the changing perception of people. When I say changing perception of team, changing perception of people, and let them believe in belief, and let them work on reality. So guys, I will take you way back in 1980s. You must have heard of it, I'm sure. If not, but I'll let me cite it for you. So 1980s, and in US, when AIDS hit US, United States, right? Now that was a state which was badly hit by AIDS, right? And people were suffering from it, right? Now that was the time in 1987. Princess Diana in Europe, she set up the first unit. Of treating AIDS patient. And believe you me, guys, when she set up first unit of treating AIDS patient, she even shook hand. I repeat, she shook hand with one of the patients of AIDS. And when she did that, she could tell all the world that AIDS was not something which was spreading by touching hands. AIDS was not something which was spreading by touching hands, right? So she really showed a wonderful example of leadership here. And in that example of leadership here, I talk about, we really have to be towards people. When I talk about leadership, a lot of approaches, I found two areas of leadership very, very effective worldwide. One of them is affiliative leadership. When I say affiliative leadership, that means leadership for people. Yes. So I will always keep people first, no matter what happens. For me, for you, for organizations that keep people first, they keep growing, right? And they will always keep growing in coming times too. Second, leadership, which has always been very, very effective, and I shall be showing you, taking to certain research by HBR, Harvard Business Review, and I will take you towards some of the researches, done by HBR, Harvard Business School, right, or Harvard Business Reviews. So those reviews I will present to you. The best leadership proven in the world, which has been, friends, that leadership has been leadership of humility, leadership of people, leadership of humbleness. So best leaders are humble leaders. Right? So all of us really have to be humble, but humbleness will always work with so-called the competence in you, with which you are famous, you are able to drive your team, you are able to direct your team, and that competence really matters a lot. Second is confident, right? If you're confident and humble, it really pays you well. But if you are humble and not confident and you're not competent, that's where your team might have little shaky trust in you, right? So if we really want to direct our team in the best possible way while leading them from the front, friends, days have gone, when bosses used to sit on one chair and used to guide all people and give them direction. Go there, this is my rope, come here, go there. No, it does never work now, right? So when I talk about leadership here, leaders always lead from the front. When I say leaders lead from the front, right, they are always there to guide their teammates. They're always there to support their teammates in VUCA world, right? So let's move ahead to my next slide. Weber, I will request to take me to my next slide. So Satish Kumar, thank you so much for writing to me, and I have a lot of comments. Thank you so much. Gloria Joseph, thank you so much. Sanjay Nagrele, nice session. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being there. Now, let me take you towards a process or I would say a leadership definition. Quickly go through it. Now, leadership is not a position. All that I've discussed with you. However, let's go to the research by HBR, Harvard Business Review. Can you please show that to my audiences? Now, guys, if you look at the most important leadership competencies, let's talk about the most important leadership competencies. So now, there was a research which was done by Harvard, right? And 195, I say 195 leaders, they were called. And, with their support, this particular research was done. So there was a questionnaire. There was a questionnaire which was given to all leaders. And they chose certain competencies which really matter a lot for organizations' potential growth more strategically, right? And while aligning people, teammates with them, and it really helps them to grow and to be more productive, right? Worldwide, right? So this is something which will help you a lot. I will take you towards the top 10 leadership competencies grouped in here by HBR. So friends, if you see strong ethics and safety. So when I talk about strong ethics and safety, 67% has high ethical and moral standards. So when I say strong ethics and safety, I have heard, friends, I have found a lot of people saying ethics and values are seen in books only. I am sure you also must have heard a lot of people saying ethics are found in books. No, there are leaders. There are leaders, and I will present such leaders right now to you through my slide. There are leaders in my country, in the world, right, who have ethics and values. You see, the world is driven, the world is moving ahead. Technology is running faster than the fastest possible speed. It is not possible without the ethics and values and belief in teammates, right? So now HBR says 195 leaders, those who chose, they chose number one, strong ethics and safety. 67% has high ethical and moral standards. Self-organizing, a leader has to be self-organizing. When I say leaders have to be self-organizing, 59% leaders chose this option, and they believe it provides goals and objectives with loose guidelines and directions, right? So when I say loose guidelines and directions, there, if you are not self-organized in the best possible way, right? So giving a direction to your own teammate becomes really difficult, right? So let's move on ahead. Clearly communicates expectations, very, very important. When leaders clearly communicate expectations, they work on transformational leadership, and they spread a message to their teammates that even if a problem comes, even if distortion happens in terms of receiving a message, I am there for you, right? So acknowledgement of a communication. Guys, all of you know that the communication breaks or makes an organization. Communication makes or breaks a company, a family, a relationship, right? So communication is really important. So the next one, the efficient learning. Efficient learning is very, very important, right? And 52% people have chosen it. Nurture growths, 43% have chosen is committed to my ongoing training. That means trainings are really very, very important for leaders, for teammates, for organizations to grow and prove themselves across the world, right? So this is where we really have to work on. 39% is open to new ideas and approaches. 195 leaders chosen by HBR, Harvard Business School Review. They say that they are open to new ideas and approaches. There are leaders who are open to new ideas, and the moment they are open to new ideas, that's where they take their teammates ahead, right? So Sushant, thank you so much. Ganeshwar Nayak, thank you so much. Satish, thanks a lot. It helps in growth. It provides safety. A lot of areas wherein we work. So friends, I was taking you through this so that you can believe in these top 10 competencies of great leaders across the world. And I'm going to present you soon two areas which are very, very crucial. The one is affiliative leadership, another is humble leaders, right? How can you be a humble leader in your organization, and which all behavioral traits will help you, in better understanding of your team members, or your team will understand you in a better way, that yes, you are a humble personality once you have this certain pattern of behavior. So I'm gonna talk about that also. So before that, let me take you here. Leaders need to learn to be comfortable in VUCA world, and I'm sure by now you must have taken it in that way. So all of us have to be comfortable. I am saying this word comfortable, cool. Friends, wars, battles are not won by the high-headedness. By high-headedness. Let me be very honest. When I was beginning your session, some technical problems took place. Right, we had to send new link to thousands, lakhs of people once again. Right, and we took a quick decision to do that. Did we have an option? Did we have a choice? No, right? So rather than cribbing on anything, rather than cribbing, thinking why it has happened with me, why it has happened with me only, friends, let's move on and find a solution while taking a quick decision on dealing with the problem, dealing with the new situation, dealing with a new issue, right? So let me take you towards my next area, which is very, very nice for you here. I am sure you must have, Weber, can I have a screen which says 78-year-old man? I have a question for my audiences here. I am sure you all are enjoying. So I have a question for you all, right? So please read that question and answer me quickly. I would like to see your answer and would love to see your comments. So that question, Weber, can you put that question to my audiences? Next one. No, go back. Yes, no, forward, this one only. Friends, if you can see the slide, the 78-year-old began his career with Tata Group in 1961. So, and spearheaded the company from a $1.5 billion market cap to $100 billion. $1.5 billion to $100 billion. Yeah. So I would like to see your comments quickly.
तो उनकी पीपीटी चल रही है.
Ratan Tata. Wow, good.
वो शेयर करनी है.
Mr. Ratan Tata. Very nice. So I could see my audience is replying. Very nice. Great. So, friends, let me tell you one more area of Mr. Tata. When he joined his group, he was very passionate and compassionate. I am adding two words here. One is compassion, second is passion, or you can call it passion and compassion. These two areas go hand in hand. When I say passion, we really have to, sleep, eat, and live with our dream, right? And we have run on that path, thinking this is the only path, and I am gonna meet the final destination of mine soon, right? So now here with compassion, what he did, compassion is, living with people, having affiliation with people, and having that bond with people, right? Mr. Tata began his career as a blue collar employee in his organization. I said as a blue collar, employee of his organization. And when he was to take his organization to the world, I repeat, when he was to take his organization to the world, almost 80-90% people of his company, they said no, it is not the time for us to go world, to go the globe. But what he decided to go globally, and now you see 50% of Tata's business come from overseas. I repeat, 50% of Tata's business comes from overseas, right? So I would also take you to certain attributes of Mr. Tata's personality, right? And then I will take you back to my other. people whom people I follow a lot, right? So I would talk about them also. So Mr. Tata had a vision, right, and he was able to achieve it, right? He was able to achieve that vision, right, for which he was working very hard. So now he has always been a visionary. He has always been a visionary. And friends, when we as a leader are visionary, we have to ensure, as I said earlier, we have to ensure that we have to connect that vision to our teammates, right? Connecting vision is one. Two, showing them the path. Showing them the path. How are we gonna achieve that vision is very important. And as a leader, when you do, let me tell you through research, maximum leaders do fail not in connecting them with a vision. There are a lot of leaders who are able to connect their team members to their vision, but problems lie in taking those team members through the path. So creating a path, aligning them in the path, ensuring your assurance. I say ensuring your assurance, ensuring that your backup. I am there with you. I am there with you, right? Ensuring when they commit error, you do not criticize them. What do? You rather appreciate them for their trial, right? And I'm sure when you do that, it really becomes a message of inspiration to all team members, right? Please allow me to have a sip of water. So I was on Mr. Tata, right? So he has always been a visionary leader. He has been known for his humility. Friends, I said great leaders, two traits, great leadership traits: affiliative leadership, and so-called humble leadership or humility, right? You can connect all this to one style of leadership that is called altruistic. If there must be a lot of professors who are there online, they must have read about altruistic leadership. Altruistic leadership talks about humility, talks about the affiliativity, right? And being an altruistic leader, once you are affiliating with people, you are you believe in humility, right? And you are humble, right? So it becomes for your team members and for you very easy to sail the boat in VUCA world. I'm saying to sail the boat in VUCA world, because when VUCA we comes, it calls other UCA also. So that's where, as a leader, you have to show your team a clarity. That means C, right? You have to show them understanding. You have to have the understanding in them, right? You have to make them understand you, which is both the way very important, right? And Mr. Tata has always been an inspiration to his team members. So, friends, I will take you to one of these slides. Altruism is not good always in an organization. We'll talk about it. Thank you so much, Engineer Mudir. Great. There are certain attributes of altruism that you might talk about, but yes, I will get back to you right after my show. Thank you so much for putting this question. So now he has always been inspiring. So what is an inspiration? What is a motivation? What is an inspiration? And how does it come from? So when I say an inspiration, it is all about inspiring other team members of yours while you motivate your team members. So a process of motivating your team becomes an inspiration for them, right? And I'm sure we all know it. So I will take you towards one example of credibility and debit. I'm sure, friends, you all know that as a leader, we get little more share than our credit. Just correct me if I am wrong here, friends. I know you all are very learned personality who have joined us today. I have IIT professors, people from New York, people from Qatar. I have people from across all the states of my country. I am honored to have you on such platform, friends, and I welcome you here on this platform. So hope you're enjoying the session. So in fact, now I was taking you towards the leadership here. So as a leader, we get little more share when it comes to the debit, right? When I say debit, it is criticism, right? So we get little more than the criticism, and we get little less than our credit, right? So the credit that should come to us, we get little of that, or rather we should work on getting very least of it. And the moment you work on getting least of credit or giving it to your all team members, believe you me friends, life has always been a credit. The moment you see credit in your account, you become very happy, right? The moment I see credit to my account, I become very happy. So as a human, we all feel very happy when it comes, to the credit. But in as a team, friends, we really have to see that the criticism is very important, right? So when I say criticism, leaders do not worry about criticism, rather they get inspired by it, right? So I will take you right towards a quick story here in a very short way. Rather, I'll give you a synopsis of it. You must have heard of Professor Satish Dhawan, the ISRO chairman during 80s, right? So when the first satellite of our country, SLV-3, was to launch, right? So the complete media was waiting 10 years of efforts of all scientists of ISRO, right? So 10 years of hard work, and Dr. Kalam was heading the project as a director, right? Now, when a day came, computer showed an error. When the day came to launch the satellite, the computer showed one error, right? Dr. Kalam bypassed the computer while taking his team members in confidence, right? And all his teammates had a belief in him. So he bypassed the computer, right? And once all team members said everything is okay, carry on, go ahead, red, green, go, right? So it took off, right? And the moment it reached in second orbit, right? So SLV put the satellite, not at the right place, rather in the Bay of Bengal. It went to the Bay of Bengal, right? So that's where now it was a complete fiasco. It was a complete failure, and the first failure of Dr. Kalam in his life. He never knew how to handle a failure. I was telling you, friends, earlier also. We all learn. We all know how to handle, a success. We all know how to handle successes. Everybody knows, right? But when it comes to a failure, that's where we all have to have a belief. We have to pass that belief to our team also, right? So complete media came. Now see what happens here. See what happens here, friends. So complete media came, right? And now Dr. Kalam was very upset, right? Rather, he was tensed, right? So Professor Satish Dhawan came from the back, and he asked Dr. Kalam, hold, let me go and face media. So Professor Dhawan went outside and took responsibility on his shoulder. It was my responsibility. It was my failure. And I assure you that very soon you will see a successful launch. You will see a successful launch. Friends, failure took place in 1979. Just after 1 year, August 1980, right? The second launch, rather second time, the launch took place, and we were successful. We were successful, right? The complete media was applauding. The media that was, a kind of was criticizing Dr. Kalam's team. The media it was criticizing the complete, ISRO, right? That media came again, and they were applauding, right? And now what happened? Professor Dhawan came again and asked Dr. Kalam, hey Kalam, hey man, go, your time has come. Hey man, go, your time has come. So friends, when we talk about such things, now what do you get out of it? Credit. During the time of credit, right, Professor Dhawan gave it to his team, and when it was about criticism, he took it on his shoulders. And believe you me guys, if you search Dr. Kalam's speech across the world, a lot of platforms, he always praised Professor Satish Dhawan a lot. And Professor Professor Satish Dhawan was a true inspiration to his team, right? So it is all about taking your team to a right direction through a lot of stories, through a lot of credit sharing process, and I'm sure all of you are aware of it. So friends, I will quickly take you some of the important areas of my slide, the second last one, and then we'll quickly come to the questions. Storytelling. I will request Vaibhav to put a storytelling slide to my audiences. Vaibhav, can you please do that? So the first story, I am telling you 10 stories all of us have to work on. 10 stories as a leader we should always share with our team members, right? The first one of that is where we came from. When we say where we came from story, and friends, all of you know that stories have always been heart touching. When I say stories have been heart touching, that means, stories inspire people, stories bring people closer. Recall days when, I'm sure those who are in an age of 40 or 50s, or they have kids, so they must have had their kids in quilt during winters or during summers, in AC quilt, and should have told those stories, right? So when they told such stories to their kids, I'm sure their kids would have loved such stories, right? I still tell a lot of stories to my kids, right? And I believe in sharing stories, friends, right? So I will request, as a leader, we should always work on sharing story. You must have seen on LinkedIn a lot people have been writing, storyteller, and I'm sure you must have come across a lot of things as a storyteller, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? Satish AS, thank you so much. So what does that mean, right? So when I say storyteller, we are able to connect our team members. We are able to connect our family members. We're able to connect our society, right, with us in the best possible manner, right? So now, and moreover, it becomes, it makes us more closer to the person with whom we share stories, right? So I was on one part, which was out of 10 stories, how should we share? The one of them is where we came from, which is the founding story, right? The founding story, how your company was founded. Next comes why we can't stay here. We don't have to stay on a platform for a very long time. Why? A big fish will come and will eat and will finish it off, right? So that is why second story is very, very important, and that is why we shouldn't stay here, and that becomes need for change. Friends, there is always a need for change. As long as you have that need for change in you regularly, believe you me, you will always keep going, right? It really helps a lot. The next, where we are heading. So when we say where we are heading, we should always have vision in with us. We have vision for our team members. It really helps, right? So where are we heading for is very important. No flight can ever reach to its destination unless it knows where to go, right? So I'm sure you are getting it better. I'm happy that my all audiences are very matured and learned audiences. I am so honored and glad to see you together. Thank you so much for your patience listening. So here, the next one goes, how we are going to get there. Next thing is very, very important. How are we, going there? Durga Duvedi sir, thank you so much for your appreciation. Thank you so much. So how are we going, right? So how, as I said, the path, and I told you a lot of I'm sorry to use that word, a lot of leaders, and all engineers are leaders, I know that, right? So sometimes some certain leaders, they get failed in showing the path to their teammates, right? So when I talk about showing path, it is how story, how will we reach, and that becomes your mission. Right? So now the next one, when we say what we believe is what that becomes the corporate value, what value system you have, right? I'm sure in family also, to all our children, we always say to our family members, we tell them our belief, our value system, what do we believe, what do we follow, right? And such things always give a lot of courage, a lot of potential, a lot of credibility, a kind of and the motivation to our team members and family members too. So And the next one, go how we are going to get there, the strategy need to work on, and who are we going to serve. Of course, very important, who are we going to serve, right, in an organization is very, very important. And that's where the customer stories, when I say customer stories are not all about inspiration. Customer stories should always be failure stories also. Believe me, friends, I am touching you again and again. If you keep your team members away from failure stories, the job is half done. Right? So it is the onus, it is the responsibility on my shoulder that I ensure that my team, my family members know the failure story as well. And that's where we make them to be ready to face the challenge, to face the VUCA world, right? So that's where let's move ahead here. So the next one, which is very important here, what do we do for our customer? It is where the sales story, what do we sell, what do we make, right? So this we can connect in our own life also. When I connect in my own life, what do I do? What am I doing here right now? Right? Or what do I do? So it becomes a story, what I work, related to my work. What do I do? What message am I conveying? What am I doing for my society? Right? So very, very important. Now here, how we are different from our competitors, very important. Friends, unless we take competitors in confidence, in terms of, or awareing our team with our competitors, what they are doing. Those who are working in organization or colleges or campuses, they will agree with me when it is about a competition, right? And we see one of my friend is working very hard. Oh my God, I really have to be ready to work harder, right? I will take you back when I was learning martial art. So what happened when I was, learning martial art? I am a, green belt in martial art long back when I was in 10th. So luckily I was good in studies and I couldn't continue the martial art. But I will take you one story which my coach told me. So that story was, Ajay, when you are, I will be focusing on English. I understand a lot of audiences of mine are from the world. So I'll focus on English more. So, friends, you will agree, when we practice, don't you think we get tired sometimes? Or rather, there is a point when we are tired. So when we are tired, right? So what happens? Either we sit down and close eyes and relaxed, right? Or now what happens? Either I leave the job for that moment, for that point in time. So guys, while working hard, if I leave and I do not work on my stamina, how will I know that working on a project for 2 days will not give me a success? Working on a project for 3 days will give me a success, can give me a success. So I should be able to stretch myself to a situation to handle and to reach my vision with my team. And that's what Sir Ernest, right? When I told him, in fact, about him, I told you about him, right? So he also did that for so many months, living on Iceland, right? And think how they could have survived. He was the first man, right? Shackleton, the first man on the earth from Norway who could cross the Antarctic Ocean, right? So I will take you back. So my coach, yeah, thank you so much. Storytelling is a good approach. Thank you so much. So somebody said complete the story. I'm going to complete this story quickly. So my coach told me, Ajay, whenever you are tired, fighting, always think of, when you close your eyes, you should see only your enemy. You should see only your competitor, practicing. And that has to be a time when you get up. And start fighting again. And it will give you a lot of energy and stamina to work on. Right? So friends, I am telling you, if you are aware what your competitors are doing, that means big fish is that roaming in your circle, in your nearest orbit, or is it roaming in the outer possible most orbit? You should know that, right? Otherwise, it can be a direct current to you in your life rather than an alternative current. All of us are engineers sitting over here. alternative current can leave you if you touch it, but our direct current will not leave you. So don't take panga with direct current, right? So DC I'm talking about is very dangerous. So always be aware of your circle, what all is happening, right? And which all competitors are there in your circle. So let me take you ahead here quickly, completing my stories. So who we serve, customer story, what we do for our customers, see, this is very, very important. And then how we are different from others. I was talking about competitors and market stories. Why I lead the way I do, very important. Why I lead the way I do. My team members ask me these questions at times, and I'm sure your team members also do. They will ask you question like this: why do you lead the way you do? Why do you lead the way you do? Because it has been giving you results, man. It has been giving you results, woman. Yes, it does, right? And but leading the way you lead does not mean that you are closed for new ideas. You are closed for new ideas. No, I'm going to take you one more attribute. As I told you, humility. I was on humility or humbleness. When you are a humble leader, what all you showcase to your team members, I'm going to take you right there. This is here. Now, the last story that I was talking about, why should you want to work here? So it becomes a recruitment story. Recruitment story is, why should you work here? Those who are my young generation listeners, right? They must have this question in their interviews. Why do you want to work with us? Why should you work with us, right? So this is where should is very, very important. And what it carries? It carries, giving a passion to your new recruitee. If he does not know that, you need to pass this message to your new recruitee once you hire them, right? Thank you so much. Sushanta Kumar Sethi, thank you so much. Hope it makes you happy, Sushanta. Lovely to see you here. Rudhi Panda, thank you so much, in fact, for being here. I am so happy to see you all here. Vaibhav, can you please take me to one slide of behavior post Mr. Tata? Behavioral tendencies. Vaibhav, can you please hear me? Vaibhav, are you there? Okay.
Yes, sir. Can you please tell me which slide is it?
I just want this behavioral tendencies.
Slide number?
Slide number.
Okay, I'll walk you through the
16.
entire
Sorry,
screen.
17. Thank you so much. 17.
Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Thank you so much. So, my lovely audiences, look at it. When I say talk about humble leaders, and worldwide they are known, they are the best leaders on the earth. This is not what I'm saying. This is what Harvard Business Reviews, right? They have said it. You can check it on Google, right? So best leaders are humble leaders. But when you are humble, you have to ensure that you have the competence in you, you have the confidence in you, right? And it really helps. Vaibhav, the echo is coming. So better you please switch off slide. I will carry it on. Hello. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Hope now echo is not there. Mrinalini, thank you so much. Pawan, thank you so much. So behavioral tendencies, friends, which are very, very important for all of us to understand. What do these leaders, when I talk about humble leaders, what is the behavior that they showcase, right? The first thing that they work on, they try to see themselves more accurately. When I say they try and check themselves more accurately, how accurate they are, and if they are not, they try and work on themselves. They readily accept, they are always open to accept the mistakes. The biggest challenge we have seen in life, friends, accepting the responsibility, accepting the mistake, right? So once we do that, I'm sure the platform is open for all of us to fly, to all leaders to fly. So admit mistakes and listen to the feedback, right? Next one, appreciate the strength and contribution of their own people. So when I say humble leaders, they always appreciate the strength and contribution of people and always open to new ideas. Very, very important. Always open for new ideas, and they communicate extremely well with that humbleness. Believe you me, friends, you must have noticed one thing. Tone of your message is very, very important. When I say tone, I might say, oh, you look good today. Oh, you are in good dress today. So am I communicating a message or a comment? Can I have the comment, guys? Oh, you look nice today. So I am rather commenting. Yes, somebody wrote that right. I am commenting. I am not passing in information. So passing in information with right tone, humble tone, right? Moderator. Thank you, Vishal, for your answer. A moderate tone, right? You must have heard of aggression, assertion, and persuasion. Friends, as a leader, aggression should never be there. You really have to be cool-headed, right? Other two, all of us can follow. Other two, one is assertion. Assertion is you are moderate. And third, very important, persuasion, right? You really have to persuade, cajole your teammates when they are not convinced by you, right? So either you convince or get convinced. These two things are very, very important in life. So I will take you to last slide of mine, which is a good leader, and then I will invite some questions quickly. Okay, before I show you last slide, let's take it out. And for your knowledge, I will request you to join my, channel. Those who are watching me, they can subscribe my channel. I would be live again in the month of June, in the last weeks, and I will be conducting a session on stepping into leadership, for which you will be getting the link also, right? And we'll work on that, right? So I will take you the last story of my session of the day, which will make you happy. Rather, two stories. I could find a lot of comments of the stories, right? So there was a boss who took his two members to the beach, right? And other two members, they were very happy to see the beach. And one of them said, right, what happened? While playing on the beach, they got one so-called, that you call I'm forgetting the name, the magic lamp, right? So by the magic lamp, magician came out and asked for a wish, right? One of them wished, I want to live on this beach. I am tired from my office. I want to live here on this beach forever in a new bungalow. So a new bungalow was made, and he was living in that area for that moment in time. Second one said, I want to have my yacht here, and I would sleep and eat. I want a big yacht. I want to live on that yacht only. So yacht came, and he was there. So now they invited their boss, and they asked their boss, what do you want? So boss came, and boss said, what? Boss made a wish, and he said, I want both my co-workers back with me right now. I want both my co-workers back with me right now. So there are a lot of examples that I can share with you in terms of collaborative leadership, which all of you must have heard of when it has happened in Mahabharata. So I will share all that link with you. Since time is really ahead, and I'm sure all of you have been really very patient in listening to me. I'm so glad and happy and honored to have all my audiences here, watching me live. Thank you so much, friends. Now I am all open for questions. Please open up. I am here for questions. So if Professor, if in fact Director General Sir, Secretary Sir is listening to me, I will request him to take on. And before I take a leave, I will really request leave in the sense I'm here. I will answer your question, then only I will leave. I am thankful to Institution of Engineers for giving me such platform. I am thankful to the President, Engineer Narendra Singh Sir. Please accept my gratitude, right, for giving me such a great platform to meet all your members worldwide, right? And I'm so happy to be connected with the Institution of Engineers, right? So I convey my gratitude to the complete network of Institution of Engineers, and I'm thankful to to Major General Bhattacharya for his complete support, which he has been giving me for last so many days. Sir, thank you so much. Have a blessed life ahead and be very, very healthy. So,
Okay. Can I
please
come in here?
Yeah, please, sir. Over to you now.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Firstly, of course, my sincere thanks to the audience, because they are the ones who make the event, and for joining the call of the Institution of Engineers India. And I think there were many in the audience from abroad. I think we'll get the statistics later. I think we heard something very new, how to manage, how to lead in times of uncertainty. And the younger generation, of course, must have been very enthused by what we have heard. Actually, he's a very passionate speaker. This is the first time I was listening to him. And what makes it very interesting is all these examples he takes and how Mr. Sharma weaves it through. What I think recall value would be, besides the examples he has taken, the leadership competencies which he has spoken about. I think that should be the major takeaway from this talk that he has given. And the Institution of Engineers India always would like to bring such experts, and especially from the younger generation, into the field, so that we remain contemporary, and we remain thinking about the environment around us also. And I will now request Engineer Narendra Singh, the President of the Institution of Engineers India, who has been here throughout the webinar listening to Mr. Sharma. Sir, Mr. Ajay, could you please patch him in so that he would like to make a few comments?
Vaibhav, can you please take President Sir online?
Yeah, for his closing comments.
No, the link has been already sent to him, but I don't know why he's not entering the.
He's heard this. He's heard this.
Sir, I'm calling in for a minute. Please allow me.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, please come live and say something about it. Sir, आप please link है, आप link please live आ जाइए. Their audience are waiting for you. सर, आपने लिंक पे लॉगिन कर दिया? सर, आपको एक फ्रेश लिंक मिला होगा 5 बजे, उस पे करिए 5:10 पे. 5:10 पे आपको लिंक मिला होगा, प्लीज उस पे करिए.
I've sent him a fresh link also if he wants to try that. I've sent him a fresh link also if he wants to try that.
Okay, all right. So, Naren sir?
Ajay, he would have received a mail from your
सर,
ID.
आपके पास अभी भी एक और लिंक भेज दिया है हमने, उस पे कर दीजिए इजी के लिए. अभी एक लिंक भेज दिया आपको, आप प्लीज उस पर लॉगिन कर दीजिए. आपकी मेल पे सर. आपके पास सिल्की जैन के हिसाब से आया हुआ. सिल्की
नो
जैन.
अजय आपके ही आईडी से भेजा है.
आप प्लीज उस लिंक को क्लिक करिए. Yeah, he's coming. Sir, can you please invite questions till that time?
Yeah, please go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah. I'm all there for you guys. Please open up. Any questions you have? We can have 5 questions quickly. We can have 5 questions. Yes, please. Any questions? I am so glad. I am, someone is writing AC is more dangerous than DC. So I think Ashwini Kumar Toplani, right? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me, guys? So the question here is AC is more harmful than DC. I think it is not a platform to talk about it. You can connect me on my this page. I will surely discuss on this AC and DC part. Right. So let's have some more questions on it. Yes, I'm waiting for questions, please. Okay. How can a wrong decision be proved right? And then how should we deal with the okay, I will take question one by one. How should we deal with new recruits, right? So when you have new recruits, as I said earlier, there are leaders, there are people who stand here very elevated, and your new recruitees are down. Something which kills them and their aspiration to move ahead is assumption. What assumption? When as a trainer, as a coach, as a leader, I explain to new recruitee, I already know this and I feel that understanding this is easy. So that's where communication, as I said, communication is very, very important, right? Giving them the trust that you are there with them, right? Because what is there in new recruitee's mind? The fear. And believe you me, friends, fear is something which can kill anybody. Let me take you here in example. Somebody was sleeping, so a snake bit him. Right? And when he woke up, he found a frog. Nothing happened with him. Nothing. He was live, right? And vice versa, when something bit somebody, and when he woke up, he saw a very very big snake, right? So venomous kind of the snake. When he saw, he died. So appearance, communications, handling fear, taking them into confidence, trust. This is something which make new recruitees very, very successful while working with you. So make them happy and keep them closer. Yeah.
Okay,
Next question.
Mr. Sharma. Mr. Sharma, I think the time has now come. In fact, on behalf of Engineer Narendra Singh, President, Institute of Engineers India, who's attended this webinar, I think due to some technical reasons, he could not address us. A very sincere thanks from him and from the entire II fraternity. You have spent your valuable time and enriched us. And this is the first in the series of the webinars which we have planned. From different topics, and starting with leadership means we have led well, we have begun well. Once again, thank you very much to you, and we hope to see you here again. And a very big thanks to the audience for their patience and being with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.